yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are back to talk about PowerBook 2 Ghost. This is season 3, episode 7, titled Deal or No Deal. And, you know, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of deals trying to be made, but, you know, we're going to get into that in a second. Before we start talking about the episode, though, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell, and also the like button. All of those things help support our channel. If you love the Spot Real Talk, then go ahead and show your love.
Absolutely.
So now we can go ahead and dive in. I mean, the first thing I thought after seeing this episode is Monet's back at it again.
Oh.
Well, her camera is gonna be great. When it comes back around for her, it's gonna be great.
Yes, it is.
You got to give her a new name. It won't even be Karma anymore. I mean, the devil himself will come and visit this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the last episode, we know that the Russians kind of shot up the funeral. And so they are continuing their reign of terror. They took out Big Boy, the security guard that Tariq had close to him. And, you know, Monet is working hard to try to end the feud. And so she starts lining things up. I mean, I told you, when y'all said that woman was diabolical last week, I mean, y'all were just scratching the surface.
But didn't I tell you that prediction I made that was gonna be Drew with Gordo? Mm-hmm. I said that.
You said that, yeah.
And I knew it because, especially when he stepped to her and was just like, I'm gonna keep seeing Drew and ain't nothing you gonna do about it. I was like,
yeah.
She was immediately on her phone meeting right now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, she ready to line him up.
Absolutely.
The worst way, too. I mean, you know, first of all, Monet has got a lot of nerve. You know, she was the one, if I'm not mistaken, put Drew up to handling the Russians, or at least she was in agreement with it. And now that things kind of, you know, unfolded, and now she's in the little meeting trying to get some answers from everybody. Well, what about you, Monet? What sort of answers do you have to all this mess?
That's to keep the heat off. She is doing the same thing that Lorenzo did. Like, Lorenzo had everybody on a wild goose chase saying it was guap because he killed Zeke. Mm-hmm. She's doing the same thing. You know, she said, because, you know, the streets are going to say, why aren't you answering? And that's what Drew said last week after the funeral. And so in order to maintain her image and her you know, reign of the crew, she has to look like she's pushing back. She's trying to like cover herself and then not look weak at the same time.
Right. And so like she kind of had like a twofold plan in order to neutralize the Russians. She had Tariq working on one end, you know, the political side, where she gets him to talk to Tate about, you know, arranging for the feds to bust the Russians drug that was incoming so that they wouldn't have any product on the street. But then she worked the background too, where she's kind of killing like 3 birds with one stone, really. You know, she set Makai up to look like he was involved with Lorenzo's murder. She set Gordo up to make it look like he was involved. And then she also called a truce with the Russian because she delivered Makai's head to him. So I mean, it was a good plan. I mean, she got what she wanted, but my goodness, the way she went about it.
But I don't trust those Russians no farther than I can throw them. And even when she asked, "Are we good?" You know, he just kind of casually shook his head, yes. It's not good enough for me. I don't know what else he might have been able to say or do, but just the look in his eyes told me you can't trust him. You better don't turn your back out. Don't turn your back on her.
And here's the thing: she's not seeing the whole board, because
no, she's not, actually
the whole board is now she's taking out 2 people from the Castillos. You know, people have died at her hands. Frank died at her. You know, Kane did it, but she gave the order to get rid of him because he was a rat.
Right.
And then now Gordo. So at what point Evelyn, like I said, I'm thinking Kane might be the one to take her out, like if Monet dies or goes to jail or whatever. But Evelyn might be laying in the cut, like, wait a minute. She didn't disappear, two of my family members and stuff. So we can't count her out.
No.
Right.
And I kept saying I think it would be Diana, but I think it would be Drew. If Drew ever finds out that she's responsible for, the death of his, his lover.
Well, shoot, he responsible for the death of his lover.
I mean,
yeah, but he went on the assumption. Well, first of all,
it was no assumption. He did do it.
He did.
I mean, the only part that was not right was
the assumption was based on checking Gordo's phone and seeing the messages that Monet kind of set him up on.
Yeah.
And that's my point about the assumption. Now, if he finds out that all that was a hoax and Monet was responsible for that, that's not going to.
Yeah, she was right. Right. I mean,
it was the right guy, but under the wrong pretense.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's a
it was a hoax that Makai was involved.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a hoax that Gordo killed his father. So either way, justice was served from that standpoint.
Well, yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
Yes, because he did avenge Lorenzo on that point. Because Gordo did do it.
On the basis of Monet setting it up. And so,
absolutely, she's not guilty. I'm not caping for her at all. She's not innocent at all. I'm not caping for her.
The thing that's kind of crazy to me is that Monet and Drew kind of had this heart to heart. And, he's like, Ma, I think it might be kind of serious with me and Gordo. Like, I kind of feel like this could work, but I don't know. And she's like, well, me and your father did it. Like, she was like, you can do this. She was encouraging him.
She was
knowing what she had.
She was playing them. She playing all the kids against each other. Like, last week she told Drew, like, hey, when he said he was going to push back, she's like, oh yeah, I got you, and we're not going to tell Kane that you in command. But then this week, Kane the only one really peeping game. Because she was like, I can always count on you when they went to Makai. And he just laughed like, yeah, you always say this when you want me to do something. Right. And he said to Tariq, you're my thinker. Da, 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 da. Even though I know she really believes that. I think she does believe that Tariq is the thinker. But she plays people against each other.
Yes, she did the same thing with Diana too, with the situation with Celine. It was a lot. I mean, Monet, I think I was glad that we got to see more range from her because I was kind of get tired of seeing her angry all the time. So seeing her kind of soften up with her kids was a kind of a relief, breath of fresh air. But I mean, obviously, she was doing it to manipulate them. So it's kind of like, dang, Monet, I still got to give you the hands.
Right. She gets the hands. She, of course. I mean, the moment she looks like she might have a different emotion other than being angry all the time, she's doing it to actually manipulate Drew
to get her way.
Exactly.
She wanted to get her way.
Right. So God.
She's something else.
Oh my
she really is.
That's why I said the karma that comes for her, man, her fall is going to be.
And it might even be Gordo's siblings too, because they were demanding a bigger cut of the money, and then all of a sudden their brother come up dead. Like,
yeah, that's another.
I don't know.
That's a perfect point. I mean, because now they probably realized that he was with Drew, and now
he was with Drew a lot too. So
now there's a bullet in the chest, in this hotel or wherever they were.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it was in their penthouse. They weren't in the hotel. That's why Kane was. That's how Kane was able to bust in there.
Right.
That was the penthouse.
That was the penthouse, exactly. So what do you do now? You hide the. What are they going to do?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's gonna be interesting.
Kane already took care of it. Did you see him come downstairs with the trash bags?
Yeah, he did, but look, Gordo.
What do you say when they like, "Where's my brother?" Though
exactly, he can only.
I know. That's the part they're gonna figure out, but I
don't know how to figure it out because he can only be missing for so long.
Right.
But
when he doesn't come
up, I don't know.
Well, no, they were in. I mean, I think everybody knew they were in love. Even his brothers knew, about that.
Yeah. So. it's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out. And
probably gonna set somebody else up too.
Oh, always they gonna shift blame in any way possible. And we briefly touched on Diana and her situation, but I want to delve a little deeper because Salim tried his best to win her back, at the open mic talent performance. Shout out to Brashandria, light skin Keisha, for her performance.
Yes.
But having Salim go up there on stage and kind of profess his love and try to apologize seemed all good and well, except for the fact that once he got back into that room and Diana privately had to check him, as soon as she was like, I don't want you, I'm not one of your groupies or whatever, he still went back on a tangent and kind of started going off on her again.
I can understand his anger in a sense, and I say sense because she told you in no uncertain terms that she didn't want you, and that should have been the end of that. But you made a fool of yourself going up there, open mic, and thinking that was going to soften her heart up. I mean,
and he played her really trying to call her a hoe or something like, "Oh, you sleeping with Tariq?"
Like, first off, I told you he was whack. I've been saying he's whack. And the fact that he tried to get up there and act like he was Darius Lovehall, there's only one, that's Lorenz Tate, and this is not Love Jones. He was whack for that. And then he ain't even who he said he was.
Exactly.
Right. And remember in one of the episodes, Kane even said, when he said Salim such and such, Kane said that sounds like a made-up name. And it is a made-up name. He is whack.
Trevor from Silver Spring, Maryland.
A poser, a pretender. He is,
a trust fund baby.
Yes, a trust fund baby. Part. And then he had the nerve to be talking all that stuff to Diana, and he a snitch. Yeah, he gonna live on this hands list.
Yeah, and if Diana doesn't keep him in check and let Monet get a sniff of who he is and that he's the one that Diana was saying she was having issues with, Salim might earn his own death.
That almost
her or Kane.
Monet
her or Kane.
Yeah.
When Monet asked Diana, what's wrong, and she was like, she's got these certain problems, and she had a problem with this dude, and she wouldn't give up the name, and it was a good thing because had she said Salim,
right?
But Kane been up there, and he knows she been hanging with dude,
and
so he'll know just who to look for.
And Salim threatened to out Diana with the drugs that were being sold in the candy store until she came back and outed him. Like, look, I know your secret too. Right. But we see that Diana gets arrested at the end of the episode.
Which we knew she would. I mean,
well, we knew that would happen, but the way the scene was set up, I really enjoyed that when the police bust in, you didn't know who they were there for.
Right. That's
until they pointed out that it was Diana. So, I think that Salim was behind maybe he ratted her out. I mean, outside of the fact that they had the picture of Effie on the roof for their Rico. I was wondering if maybe
they had a picture of Diana on the roof.
Right. I think that was a matter of.
They have pictures of both of them. Yeah. So they were saying that was all something that solidified their ability to get that Rico pushed through.
Right.
But I was like, dang, I wonder if maybe Salim ain't dime her out too.
I don't think so.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't think so. I think it was just a matter of time for them to get their bus, particularly when they realized that they had enough for the Rico.
And right. It was a matter of time.
It was just a matter of time. Effie is fine. All she did was look up and see a camera. So, I wouldn't.
Effie ain't fine. Now I'm ready to tell you why.
Right.
Well, she's fine for the moment, but what my thoughts are though. Well, I don't know.
Effie ain't fine. Let me tell you what's about to happen. Well, because Tariq taking ownership of the Lauren kill.
Yeah.
And he gave Lauren the phone. So Lauren is gonna give that to them. And when we saw in the trailer for the season, remember we saw there was a scene with Effie running. I think she's gonna be running from the feds. I think they're gonna be on her butt trying to pick her up
now
for attempted murder.
Now the question, does she snitch to save herself some jail time? Because if they do pick her up, well, I mean, she can rat out the whole organization. I mean, if need be. And
well,
my thing is, she's going to do some time if they pick her up. So,
but now that she has this love thing going on with Kane, he out here paying tuition and stuff.
Well,
and if she snitched, he'll take her out.
Right.
Because the reason why he's feeling her, I mean, besides the fact that she's attractive, he thought she was a real one. And the fact that she supposedly killed Lauren. Now, if she start running her mouth and snitching, then a bullet gonna pay her a visit.
Yeah, yes. But I don't think I've ever seen Kane this much involved emotionally with a woman.
Yeah, and he's open, but he is who he is.
No, I agree. I mean, no, he wouldn't hesitate to take her out. And if she does snitch, they definitely would have to put her under witness protection.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if that'll help because Kane will find her anyway. But it's really building up to a whodunit in the sense of who gets it next in terms of jail time.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you what, them feds are hot on the case, and Junior is helping to bust it open.
Yeah, Junior
he went and did his due diligence with picking up behind the trash that's at Western Holdings. They are putting 2 and 2 together about this drug operation that Tariq and Brayden are running out of that company, and it doesn't help. That good old Uncle, what's his name?
Uncle Lucas.
Uncle Lucas is cooking the books.
Shady. We said we thought.
The whole company, we thought it was shady, which is why it was a great deal for Brayden to run the drug operation through them because they are shady. We find out now that they're doing a Ponzi scheme. So it's really funny how all of this is so in your face and coming together. I mean, you really don't know which way to turn. But I was going to say something about, it escaped me. I have to come back to it.
Okay. Well, I was going to say Uncle Lucas and Kiki have been scheming on the side. And the crazy part about it is they kind of have Brayden tied up. They're like, we know you're running drugs out of here. So it's like, you keep our secret, we'll keep yours. But they also have Tariq's trust fund tied up.
Yes, that's what I was great saying.
And they got Kane's money his clean money tied up. So the second that is jeopardized, I think that Brayden gonna dime them out.
Well, yes. And all it takes is if they can't bring in more money to satisfy these 2 operations they got going on with the books, because that's the whole problem with a Ponzi scheme. You got to keep bringing money in to satisfy those, the other side of what it.
Hence the reason why they brought RSJ in, the billionaire, right? But that brother's money, we don't know his background either.
Oh, right.
I think we're gonna find out.
Right, I'm ready to say.
This is really shaping up to be something crazy. And we seen Brayden kind of hooking up with Kiki early in the episode. I was like
a jackrabbit.
Brayden got a love scene, but I'm like, how you sitting up here thinking about Tariq while you getting it on? That is turn off.
That's a problem.
Yeah, but Kiki was kind of stroking his ego, like, if you coming up with all these ideas, why are you worried about Tariq or whatever? She doesn't know their operation. She does not know what kind of people that Brayden is really in bed with in terms of Kane and the Tejadas and stuff. But so also, she keeps talking about wanting to be involved. She's like, you can tell me, I can help you out with it, but she doesn't understand the gravity of who he's involved with, especially Noma.
But what I didn't like is she putting that mess in Brayden's head, because that's how it starts. Your woman has to tell you that you're better than this, than the group that you're with, and you should be running things. And, that gets to Brayden's head and he starts looking at things a whole lot differently. Fortunately, it didn't happen because, he was able to sniff her out and find what was going on. What were you about to say?
No, go ahead.
No, basically, I'm glad, Brayden kind of showed up and knocked her to the side pushed her to the side because it's, she's been lying to him the whole time. And so he can't trust her, definitely, because she's in bed with, what's his name? Lucas,
yeah.
Well, first off, I didn't like that Brayden was pillow talking. And I was like, he did the same thing that Tommy did. Tommy ran his mouth to Holly. And now Brayden was running his mouth to Kiki. I don't care if she figured it out or not. You deny. Like she ain't part of the crew.
Yeah.
So he, Brayden gets the hands for running his mouth.
I'm not mad at it, for sure. And I think that Brayden, he's kind of like, he got a lot of people in his ear. Last week it was Kane in his ear. This week it's Kiki in his ear. And he and Tariq, they still kind of on shaky ground. So I'm just hoping that doesn't influence him negatively, because the kind of heat they got coming towards them, they're going to need to stick together.
Oh, yeah. Which is a hint iffy again, because it seems like Tariq more and more is just pushing her away. but it was quite clear by Noma's people, we need to see all three of you. And so it's, I'm beginning to wonder how this is going to happen unless Kane steps in.
Well, that's why Kane keeps still giving her weight, so
right.
she can still do stuff. So he's still keeping her involved, even though she's not,
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the meetups, that they all three got to be there, and so it's going to be, and Lord, if she does get arrested and she can't be there because of it.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
The only thing is that Effie has been compromised and she hasn't really mentioned. I mean, I know she texted somebody about cameras on the rooftop or whatever.
She was texting. I thought she was texting Kane.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, but
she was texting Kane.
They haven't let anybody else know. So I mean, hopefully they kind of spread the word quickly so that nobody else gets compromised. But at this point, like I don't think she realizes what the feds have going on in their background. And Tariq is just starting to really figure it out once Lauren informed him about the RICO. And then on top of that, the fact that Saxe is involved.
Saxe is gonna go. Saxe might be getting ready to die.
I think he's gonna go to jail.
Either jail, that's what I said, either jail or he gonna die, because once what's the call, Davis finds out. But the thing for Tariq to talk to Davis, I feel like he might have to disclose where he got the information from. He's probably gonna have to. He's probably gonna have to tell him that Lauren is alive and this, that, and the other, and that's who's feeding him the information.
But here's
and then they're gonna have to set Saxe up.
But the problem,
I don't even think they gotta set him up, because he said last week that he wanted to get justice the clean way, but this week here we see him bribing people to let Davis's brother Theo out. So
because he's trying to set Davis up, but it's going to backfire.
No, well,
that's what I'm saying. Davis can use that to set him up. The fact that he's bribing people can be used to get him jailed.
No, exactly right. So the two of them are, they're in together. They're locked.
Saxe and Jenny, they're gonna be in the orange jumpsuit together.
For real. So if something happens to Saxe, you can almost believe Davis is right behind, because I'm sure Saxe would sing. So and the things that the both of them have been doing to get his brother out, Davis's brother out of jail, that's just as criminal as they can get.
That's what his brother was saying. You don't let my jail sentence be in vain. You gonna sit up here and do all this stuff to get me out that could potentially have you sitting in jail when I'm trying to keep you out.
I understand his anger, but I didn't understand it. It was 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other to me. I mean, the fact is that you're out, you can get treatment, and your brother did these things for you. But I mean, the way you spoke to Davis when all he really wanted was to actually vindicate himself and you get you out of jail. I got it, that he didn't want all that time he spent in jail to be in vain by Davis going to jail. But you are free, and you're free because what your brother and Saxe was able to accomplish. And, you may live longer because of it, because we do know he's sick and he's going to get treatment now. But I can understand being mad, but mad to the point that he almost has acted as if he didn't want to have anything to do with Davis anymore.
I get it a little. It's kind of like how the thing with Effie and Kane, she was mad at him for paying her tuition. And it's like, I don't want to be the charity case necessarily. In her case, I feel like it was the same way with Theo. Like, don't let what I'm doing to try to save you end up putting you in jeopardy too.
Yeah.
Well, it is in vain, because of the first off, he went to jail because he felt like Davis was the one that had the promise and everything. And then if he comes out because you are still doing dirt, then that defeated the whole purpose of me spending all that time in jail. I did it so you wouldn't have to resort to this type of lifestyle, and then you still resorting to this type of lifestyle. Like,
exactly.
That's a smack in my face. Like, you mean I sat in jail, I did time for you, and you still dirty? Like,
right.
And if they find out, he'll be going back to jail, because it would have been, the whole thing.
No, the double jeopardy.
No, not double jeopardy, because of the fact that, remember, the board that allowed him out, they were bought. So if Saxe and Davis, if they are exposed and what they did to get him out of jail comes to light, he'll be right back in, because it wasn't legit. So he could go right back. That's not double jeopardy. He was out on false pretenses to begin with.
No, I hear you. I don't think they would go back to jail though.
I think he would. I mean, the whole lot would go back.
I really feel like he ain't gonna make it no way. I think they went through all of this, and he's probably gonna go through the treatment and everything. And I hope he makes it, but I feel like he may not.
Yeah,
I don't think he can make it either. Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff, and I was sitting up here trying to think because Lauren told Tariq that she would try to buy him some time, and try to stall things out. But in my mind, I'm like, what can they do to stop this RICO now that it's in motion? Could they try to prove that Saxe and Jenny got their information in deceitful ways?
She would have to button up. She can't say a thing, and she certainly can't use the recording that Tariq gave her because that's going to come to question. So if indeed she plans to help him, I don't really see how she can do it. I mean, they're right in court, getting ready to walk in. I don't know what she can do, but certainly she seems to have a difference of opinion now. So
I think the recording can help. She would have to answer questions about the chain of command, how she got that recording.
Exactly.
But I do think the recording could help. I still think that she's in danger. I feel like when I saw Tariq wearing the all black, wearing the ghost uniform, I was like, uh-oh. I thought he was gonna take her out. And I noticed, like, even speaking of ghosts, at the job, he had on the gray suit, like ghosts. So I was like, I see they are trying to, definitely draw these parallels between Tariq and Ghost.
Yeah, for sure. So I was just like, I feel like Tariq, he always finds a way to get himself out of these situations. And most likely, I'm thinking it could be some kind of like prosecutorial misconduct, if anything, on behalf of Jenny and Saxe and all that they have going on.
Oh, the whole lot can go. The whole lot can go. And that's why I don't understand. Well, I guess I do because they are prosecutors, and they want them so badly. But, Saxe holds the key to a lot of stuff. So,
but Saxe he got a bad reputation. He's already been ousted from the government. And, having Jenny holding Lauren hostage. I mean, if Lauren is to expose that, then she can get fired herself. Jenny can. And, just talking about like some of the things that they have done that's necessary, like not by the books, so I feel like if any one of them is to bring up all that those people have done wrong, they can get away easy on like misconduct of the prosecutors.
Actually, you're right, because first of all, the defense attorney would know that she was dead and now she's alive. And if she was alive, where was she? And she wasn't in witness protection. So if I were the defense attorney, I would certainly
held her against her will, like everything.
No. Let me take you where I'm going. So the defense attorney would say as he cross-examined, say Jenny, where was she? Was she in
people's house?
At her house.
She was at your house. So you kept her against her will. So a prosecutor, a person who works for the government, didn't follow.
An officer of the court.
Officer of the court. They will throw that case out. It could, you know what? They could throw it out just on that basis.
That's what I feel like it's coming to.
It is coming to all of that stuff. That situation with her having, and then them lying to her parents. They even letting her parents think she's dead. So all of that, the same thing that happened with Angie Valdez. That's how they were able to blow up the case against Ghost, the prosecutorial misconduct.
Right.
So I'm like, the government, they still haven't learned.
No.
They still haven't learned their lesson.
No.
At all. Yeah.
And that's all Jenny's doing, really, because she elected to not follow the guidelines.
Well, they all did that,
Well, I mean,
Valdez, all of them was all doing stuff that they wasn't supposed to do.
She's the one. But she's the one that held Lauren.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She spearheaded it.
She definitely should lose her job.
And don't let that stuff that Whitman was doing come up, because they used a lot of that in order to get their RICO as well. So I mean, they could get it from every angle. I feel like
all of them need to be in trouble.
And when your foundation is dirty, everything else that comes from that is dirty.
And Blanca had got booted from the LAPD before. So the fact that she was able to get a DEA job is
right.
beyond me.
They are a merry band of misfits. And
it's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, not to say that Tariq and them are clean or nothing, but you know, in these shows, they do find a way to make you root for the bad guys.
Yeah.
So-called people that, you know, you shouldn't be rooting for, such as Tariq and the Tejadas or whatnot.
If the law is going to be crooked, why are you after crooked people? You know, I mean, come on now. You're just as bad as they are.
Right. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how everything plays out, because we got 3 more episodes left. I mean, a lot can happen in those 3 episodes, and I think that we definitely see some deaths before the end of this thing. I think, you know, Saxe could definitely be on the chopping block if he doesn't go to jail. I think that Theo will likely die. Who else? You know,
Lauren or Effie, maybe more so Lauren than Effie.
Lauren.
Effie might end up in the vein, possibly. Even if see if that sticks. Yeah. Or
I think once King finds out that Lauren is actually alive, he'll probably take her out himself. You know?
Yeah.
Or Effie could take Lauren out too, because they're trying to use Lauren to still testify against them. So let Effie get a whiff that Lauren got that recording.
I keep referring back to that conversation in the trailer where Davis keeps saying, when he said she gotta go, Tariq. So I'm wondering, I'm like, is he referring to Effie? Is he referring to Lauren? So we're gonna see.
Lauren. Yeah, we are gonna see. We're gonna see. So I think we gave the hands to Monet. We gave the hands to I think Saxe can 100% get the hands. Him and Jimmy.
Yeah, listen, their whole crew.
I give it
all of them.
Yeah, they
on the hands list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Salim, AK Trevor, whack behind Derek Livehall wannabe.
You never liked him. You never liked him from jump.
You really didn't.
She was I thought she was too cute for him. I thought he was a whack dude, and I was just like, when anybody to hook up with Diana, I thought they should have had a better love interest for her. And then it turns out that he really is whack too.
Right.
I'm like, oh, so my spidey senses were tingling early on.
Yeah, for sure.
Your woman senses it was tingling. You smelled it out from the
intuition, women senses. I knew.
Yeah.
That he was a punk and he was not for Diana.
Yeah, Celine can get the hands for sure. I think what's it called? It can get the hands. Uncle Lucas and Kiki.
Oh yeah.
They all here scamming. They can
Brayden too. I said Brayden because Brayden was pillow talking.
Oh right, Brayden. Yep.
He was so happy to be called the N-word too.
I know. I was like, what? He wanted to be down so bad.
I'm gonna give the hands to Drew. I'm gonna give the hands to Drew too, because if you were so much in love with this guy, yeah, you did find out some information that he was bogus, but it would seem to me you would have tried to talk it out or something.
He killed your daddy.
He killed Poppy.
Yeah, I know. No,
I'm not putting Drew on there.
I'm not either. He killed Poppy.
Okay.
It was deceitful of Monet, and we put her on the lead, but she pointed him in the right direction. Not with the guy, but ultimately Gordo was the one who killed his Poppy. So Gordo, hey,
right.
Okay. I'm good.
Any nominations for the game ball?
I don't know if anybody gets the game ball this week.
No, Tariq, because he threw the lob to Tate. He threw the lob to Tate, and then they stopped the war. I mean, he got the Russians picked up and stuff. But I think that Tate will be in trouble. I'm scared for his life, because when I looked at that headline and it was like congressional candidate Tate spearhead said that, I was like, oh, he gonna be in the crosshairs. He trying to get his toes up.
I thought it was so funny. He was like, Tariq, I can't be seen with your shady tail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that could be your downfall. What if somebody does see you with him?
Yep.
So
and they already, you see, they put his name on the board too, Tariq. They were like, Tariq is feeding, they feeding off of each other. So now he getting roped up in the Rico. So either that's gonna happen, he gonna, you know, his campaign gonna be tanked because of that, or either he gonna be in the crosshairs of the Russians because he on TV taking, you know,
their product,
taking ownership of bringing them down.
Yep.
The Russians, they'll think through that. They'll think through that. They're going to say he found out. He didn't find this out. Someone told him. So it's now a matter of.
But it's his face they see on the news though, with the headline and stuff. It's not a good look.
No, but you don't want to take out a would-be political figure. That just too much.
No, that's a lot of heat. That's a lot of heat. But listen,
I definitely want to find out who he was speaking with. And then you know what they do? They will tail Tate. And if they tail Tate and see Tariq and Tate together, they'll put the two together.
Well, he said his police contact, so they're gonna be probably trying to shake down the police.
No.
The other thing I'm gonna need for them to stop doing in the show is texting each other. I'm like, y'all love leaving a paper trail, don't you?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. What happened to that? Like they text everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So I was
they better talk to Franklin and them. They was doing the paper going to the paper.
Right. I'm like, y'all gotta do better.
Well, I guess, but they're using burners. So the question, and I don't know, you know, can you retrieve text messages from burners? I don't think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hey,
yes. In short, yes.
Listen. The feds know how to get that information. Y'all need to watch The Wire. Y'all need to watch The Wire.
All they got to do is prove that burner is associated with you.
Yes.
So that's the thing. And so that's my only critique. They just need to stop texting each other. And otherwise, you know, I think game ball, like you said, Tariq can get the game ball for, you know, maneuvering things, kind of saving the day with Monet and all of that, and proving himself to Diana that he isn't a liar about, at least about what she's talking about. He's a liar, but not about that.
Yeah, he definitely is that, and a serial killer.
Right. So I'm looking forward to it though.
He
is a serial killer.
I agree with him when he said the law. He only kill people that's gotten in the way of his family and so forth. So a serial killer, they just go and kill.
A serial killer is kill multiple people. That's a serial killer. Look, Dexter would probably say the same thing you're saying. I killed folks who are in the way, but no, that's a serial killer. Listen, I'm rooting for Tariq too, but he is a serial killer. Listen, he's a serial killer. Ghost was, Tommy was.
Yeah, look, all of them.
They all are serial killers.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next, because it's the heat is on in the kitchen. That's all I'm saying. So I hope they get out of this. I hope none of the major characters, you know, die, especially from the Tejada family, because for the most part, you know, the kids have been kind of, you know, untouched. So I'm hoping none of them kids go out before the end of the season too. I mean, Diana is in jail, so that's kind of a start. Monet said she was going to try to work to get her out, but it's very incriminating when they got a photo of you.
And what is she going to do? Call Davis, and Davis is going to try to get her out. But I'm telling you, when you got her dead to rights like that, you know,
and they already proved that those lockers were used in Brayden's operation, so it's kind of like it's not looking good.
I mean, and really the only thing she can do, that is Diana, is snitch. I don't think she can evidence. Something's got to give, though. I mean, think about it. You got her dead to rights. There's no question about that. And
I think they targeted her because they do look at her as the weakest link.
Well,
she doesn't have a rap sheet, and that's why they went after her.
And you can break her a lot faster than you can the others. So it's going to be real interesting to see what Davis says to Monet about helping her, because I don't see any light at the end of her tunnel. I mean, what they got.
It does not look good. So
days for her.
No, and then on top of that, you know, I think Noma's gonna be on their head too, because they have lost Diana as a distro, they've lost Gordo and his family as a distro. Lorenzo is already gone. So who else do they have to push all of this weight for them? The Russians are out of the picture. Tariq and them are down to like they socks. I mean, Effie
they're gonna have to bring Effie back in. I mean,
yeah.
Tariq doesn't want to, but he gonna have to.
Well,
yeah, but they want her too, though. The feds are on her too,
and that's what I'm saying. It's, I mean, they in a tough position right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing next week's episode. Like I said, you guys have any other comments you want to add before we close out?
I think Kane and Effie gonna get together because she had.
That's without saying. That goes without saying.
She had that smile on her face after she realized that her tuition was paid for. So, and I think she sees
that was smile too.
Right. Especially when you're talking about, you know, he ain't gonna miss that money. I'm like, all right, Kane, I need some work done on my house.
Absolutely.
I see more than a smile coming though. There's gonna be some bedroom action with that.
Oh, there's gonna be a love connection, and I think, you know, I said this last week. You know, I know that some people said that he's only after her because she was Tariq's girl. He feels something for her.
Oh no, definitely. I agree 100%.
I think he is open about her.
That look he gives her. I mean, even when she when she said F you, you know, here you are trying to offer her some money and she's cursing your name, and the look he had was, I still love you.
Yeah, he was like, look, I'm serious. I want to help you. How much is it? Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, he's protective of her. I was like, in the way he was looking at her, I was like, he's feeling her.
But you know, Tariq gonna be salty.
He would be salty.
You on the other foot.
He would be. Yeah, he definitely gonna be salty. Because they too
her, but when she do it back to him, it's something else. So you know, I know that he kind of ditched her, kicked her to the curb for her disloyalty, but at the same time, those feelings don't just go away. Like they did love each other.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna be looking at Kane sideways, like, really, you gonna go after her? But
I mean, he shouldn't be surprised either. He shouldn't be surprised because he told Kane at first, when he first met her, he said, keep your eyes to yourself.
Right.
So Kane has always been in the cut.
I know you ladies have a rule as to who, you know, what.
Oh, the girl code?
The girl code, but, you know, they're not bros. So.
They're just tolerating each other.
They're not bros.
Yeah, they literally
but they gonna be looking at her. He gonna be looking at her like she's a hoe. He gonna be like, oh, really? Like, really? We in the same clique?
But he ain't got no room to talk. He moved on to Diana.
Exactly.
Like no, he really doesn't. I ain't caping for Tariq either. I'm just saying that, you know, they all in the same crew.
Yeah.
Boo loving.
If you can do it, she can do it too.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to, though.
Yeah.
So to all the viewers out there, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you drop down into that comment section and give us your thoughts about this episode, as well as predictions for the remainder of the season. Make sure you click that subscribe button, the notification bell, and the like button. You've made it this far in the video, so go ahead and do those things if you have not already. Also, make sure you follow us on our social media. We are at The Spot Real Talk on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And, you know, if you want to subscribe to our channel and check out our playlist of all of our past interviews, we have a ton of good stuff on there. Most recently, we just interviewed with Will Catlett, who plays Lucky in the movie 1001 featuring Tiana Taylor. So that was an incredible conversation. So check that out. We also have several interviews with the cast, some of the cast members from this show, PowerBook 2 Ghost. So just scroll through that playlist. Yeah, and check out all of the people that we've interviewed. You won't be disappointed. So if you want to support us, you can do it in that way as well. Any last words?
Yeah.
Okay, well, on that note, we are going to call it a night. Make sure you are back here next week for the recap of episode 8 of PowerBook 2 Ghost. Good night.
Bye.
You got me hooked on your love. Think I caught all the feelings. For your kiss, I'm alive. Every touch since been reeling. I gotta know where you now. You're in the up, but I'm for the one